Hi everyone, how are we all doing today? Forgot to turn on the audio for a second there. What's everybody been getting up to? Laura says she's watching from Washington, D.C. We've got Evelyn on as well. I'm glad we've already got a few people on nice and early. Sorry about the few seconds of delay there. I had a bit of a technical glitch, but thankfully I've got it all sorted out and fixed now. But yeah, let's have a little chat. I've got my cup of tea, as always, in my special Mathew mug. Wait, let's turn it over so it looks like it's around the right way. There we go. My handmade by moi Mathew mug, as a joke for myself. Have you got yourself a nice cup of tea or a coffee or anything? How's everybody doing? Let's have a little bit of a chat, and then I'll tell you what the plan is for today's video in just a second. But yeah, so tell me how are we all? What's everybody been getting up to? Let's see now. Let's just have a look at people's comments in Facebook. I want to see what everybody's doing. Just a second. Here we go. Patricia, hi from Belfast. Kelly says hi. She's a regular. I know she's in Australia. We've got Rosalind in Peterborough. Thelma from Georgia. And Maxine, hello from upstairs. Well, hello from downstairs, Maxine. And Shane, my cousin Shane is watching as well. We've got lots of people joining in. All the family decided. And Jermaine says she's making a courgette cake. What is a courgette cake? Evelyn says I have Dr. Pepper. Okay, I've got my tea. I'm glad you've got yourself a nice little refreshment. Yvette says hello from Albuquerque. Oh, I'm so glad. There's so many people joining in from so many interesting places. Oh no, Yvette says she's in Colorado, but she's from Albuquerque. Andrea, hi from Hertfordshire. Let's see. So first things first, something really fun which I will show you. What we're going to be making today, I've got so many little scenes to show you. One second. Let's just switch over. Where are we? Here we go. So, yes, I'm going to be making our little where's the photo? Here we go. I'm going to be making today our crystal square toggle clasp, which looks just like this just here. So this is what today's video is going to be teaching. I'm going to go through just the clasp section. It's pretty much the basis for our oh, apparently I'm a little out of sync a bit. I don't know how I'm going to fix that. Let me have a look, see what I can do. How far out of sync is the audio? Hopefully not too bad. Let's see. Is the audio okay? Just give me a little message to tell me if it's in sync or not. Hopefully it'll fix up in a second, but I'm not sure what's going on exactly with that one. Who knows? Oh well. Well, I guess that's what we'll just have to do today. Where are we? Sorry about this. I'm just having a bit of technical trouble. Just moments before the show started, the camera decided it didn't quite want to join in and work with me. So let me know. Is the audio in sync and everything working a-okay? Oh dear. So it sounds like the audio is out of sync. I'm not sure why. Let's try this. 1 second. Did that fix that at all? Hopefully that's possibly fixed it a little. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on, but oh well. Maybe we'll just have to focus on not my mouth, but just the audio. So hopefully everything's working okay. I don't know why it's out of sync, but I did have a bit of technical trouble a bit earlier. So hopefully it'll fix up, but I'm not quite sure what's going on. Oh, well, I guess we might just have to live with it being a little bit out of sync. I guess it won't matter too much once we've got the actual looking down at the table. So hopefully it won't be too much of a problem. But yeah, let's just, I'm having a bit of technical issues. Sorry about that. I'll just see what I can do. Where are we? Let's try this one here, maybe. Yes, very good. Sorry, just a bit of problem time, isn't it? As always, a little bit of issue. But anyway, so a fun thing that I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to be showing as part of what people have been getting up to, because we want you to join in and let us know what exactly you've been getting up to. So for example, I'll just show you on the footage here. Elaine from Nottingham sent us a lovely photo of one of the bracelets that she made as per my tutorial the other day. So it was really, I was really pleased to see that. I was really pleased to see that. Oh, great, it sounds like the syncing's fixed. But yes, the plan is, if you want to be involved in our show today, you can send us a little picture to the email address live@beadspider.co.uk, and I will try and get as many of you on at the end of the show as I can do. So I think that'll be quite fun if we can manage to do it. Just email us in a picture of what you've been making lately, and we can hopefully get your photo of what you've been doing. It doesn't have to be of the jewelry that you've been making. It can be just, you know, whatever you've been doing to keep yourself entertained. Feel free to add that in and show us what you've been getting up to lately. But yeah, let's see. Hopefully, is the audio all fixed now? Are we back in sync? Everybody seems to be saying it's in sync. That's great. So now we'll find out, because it's back to me. So hopefully everything will be in sync. So let me know if I'm not. But yeah, definitely join in with the stream. A lot like Elaine, she was really happy to show us the piece that she'd been making, and we were more than happy. I thought it was a fantastic idea. Why don't we get you guys involved? So start emailing to live@beadspider.co.uk, which, if I'll just put it on the screen, hopefully it'll show you at the bottom there. We want you to email us the pictures of what you've been making at home. Oh no, am I back out of sync again? That's so annoying. Wait a second. Wait. Here, let's see what's going on here. Wait, if I put it on here, are we back? Oh no, I think, okay, I think I've figured out what the problem might be. Let me, yes, I've figured out the issue, I think. Let me just have a look. Am I back in sync again now? Am I back in sync? Hopefully I should be. Let's just make a few changes, do the thing, and hopefully I'll be back in sync in just a second. Let's see. Are we back in sync? We back? No, I'm still out, am I? That's annoying. Let's see. Oh well, I guess it's not going to matter, but hopefully it'll fix up in a second, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, let's say hello to a few people, shall we? Let's see. So we've got Anita here. We've got Teresa. Kelly, I already said hello. Jermaine, don't worry about it. Yeah, that's great. I'm not going to worry about the sync too much. Hopefully it'll be okay, but I guess not. Well, let's see. So let's begin, shall we? I'm going to, just to recap, just in case you weren't here, I've made, I've got, here we go. This is what we're going to be making today. So I'm going to be making the crystal square toggle clasp. Oh, by the way, Elaine, whose photo I showed, this photo just here, Elaine says she's on. She's just commented on Facebook. Hello from Elaine in Nottingham. Well, hello to you too. But yeah, thank you for sending in that lovely photo. I'm really pleased that you have sent us your picture, but yes, hopefully others will do the same. So send us your pictures and I'll try and get them on at the end of the show after we've done our little tutorial. So anyway, back to it. The plan is now I'm going to be making this little fellow just here. So hopefully that will look very lovely. That's essentially the plan right there. So let's have a look at what items I have today. So here we go. There. So what I have today, I have some 6mm bicones, some size 10 Preciosa seed beads, and also some 3x4 crystal donuts. You can also use 4mm bicones. But it doesn't matter, 3x4 crystals in donut/rondelle shape, or you can use your 4mm bicones instead, whichever one you prefer. That's what I'm going to be using today. But yes, what we're going to be making essentially is one of these sets of clasps just here. So you can see it's a really lovely little toggle that is in a square shape, just there like that, and it also has the little toggle bar across as well. So essentially what I'm going to do first, I'll make this little toggle bar, and then afterwards let's finish doing the square piece essentially. Oh, also, just before, while I mention it, something fun I've been making, which I'm thinking I might do as a video coming up. I was thinking I might just do this. It's a herringbone twist bracelet that I've been making. Let's show it a little bit closer, shall we? Hopefully that will come into focus. Just there, coming into focus. Come on now. Be a friend. Does it want to focus for me? No, maybe I'm too close. There we go, there we go. So I've been making this fun little herringbone twist bracelet just here, and I was thinking I might do a live tutorial on that. What do we all think? What do we all think about that? I personally think it will be a really lovely, fun idea. Oh, by the way, don't forget, if you've got your cups of tea or your coffee or anything, drink them. Unlike I always do, I always forget. And so I'm going to have a lovely big sip of mine right now. Lovely. So, all right, we might as well begin. For today's tutorial, I don't need the 6mm bicones. I only need my seed beads and my 3x4s. So we've got a few people who've just popped on as well. We've got Jane, who says hi. Sarah, she says good morning. Barbara as well. Hello, Barbara. She's still waiting on her microcrystals to arrive. And Gwen loves to see it as well. We've got lots of people joining in and commenting. This is fantastic. So what I'm going to need, if we have a look, the first thing that we do is pick up a little stopper bead. It doesn't matter what the stopper bead is, as long as it's different to the standard sorts of beads that you'll be using. Because we're making the little, if we just have a look at the piece again, we're going to make first the one on the left side there, the little toggle bar. So I'm going to make that little bar. If you haven't got the pattern and you would like to, we do have it for sale on our website, which I'm pretty sure I put the link in the description to that that toggle. So have a look in the description there, because we're going to be making, you can follow along with me. The pattern is £2, but we're also going to be doing this coming Saturday the Venetian bracelet, which is this one just here. So this is sort of part 1 of 2 of the Venetian bracelet series, which both of the instructions are available, but you don't need to buy both. If you just want the toggle clasp, then just buy the toggle clasp. But if you want to follow along on Saturday as well and join in, it's a lovely little design. I'm going to be making this Venetian bracelet just here, which we have 5 different colorways to choose from. So this is the toggle that I'm doing today. And then I've got the 5 different colorways of the Venetian bracelet kit. This is what's going to be on Saturday. So from that link in the description up the very top of the video, whether or not you're on Facebook or YouTube, the link will take you to the pattern for just the clasp, or the bracelet and the clasp, as well as the kits. And the kits all include instructions for both parts. So if you're getting one of the kits, you'll get a hard copy version. So you don't necessarily have to have the instructions. If you buy one of the kits, it comes included, but it's a physical copy which you'd have to scan or something. But if you want a digital copy, they are available on that same link as well. But those are the 5 colors, and we do double discount if you want to get all 5 colors. So yes, back to what we were doing. Let's have a little look. So essentially what I need first is 1 meter of thread, and I need to put a stopper bead on the very, very end. So I've just got one little blue bead just here. Actually, do you know what? Let's zoom in a bit to make life significantly easier for everyone. I'll move the beads out of the way, and I'll make sure it's nicely in focus. Let's get the beads out of the way, because you don't need to see those, only I do. So I've got myself a nice little stopper bead on the end here, and what I'm going to do is just leave myself a little tail. It doesn't matter too much, maybe about 20 or 30 centimeters, which is about 8 inches. That's all you need for your tail. Lorraine asks, these are very pretty. Are they difficult to make? No, they are very, very simple. It's a really nice, easy design to make this particular one, the Venetian bracelet. All of our kits, we try and make them so they're really simple and easy for beginners to have a go. We want to encourage people to try jewelry making, so we make all of our little kits really, really simple and easy, even if you've never made jewelry before, because our instructions, I make them myself. I try and make them as clear and concise as possible. We also have Evelyn. Will the video be available to watch after the show? Yes, I certainly will. If you like, why don't you put in the comments, if you don't have time to watch the video now, put in the comments subscribe, just type the word subscribe, and I'll send you directly a link to this video once it's finished. So if you need to go off, you need to go to the shops, do whatever it is that you need to do, you can go and do that. And once you come back, I will send you the link saying here's the video, and you can just go on and watch that. And I'll send you the link directly on the Bead Spider website as well. So just type in subscribe if you want me to send you the link of this video afterwards for when it's finished, just in case you can't watch it now. So first things first, what we need to do with our little diagram here is I need to thread on my beads and slide them down to my stopper bead. I need to pick up 10 of my size 10 seed beads. I'm using Preciosa size 10. You can also use the size 11 in any other brand if you want to, but I personally use size 10 beads. Did I put the right text? Yes, this design, here we go. Whoops, I think I put the wrong one. Here we go. There we go. So I'm using Preciosa size 10 beads, and then I've got 3x4 crystals today. So in this particular design, I prefer, in seed bead terms, I really like using the Preciosa ones, just because I find they have a fantastic range of colors that that they do, and I find that the precision of them is really good as well. Like, the quality of them is fantastic. They've really upped their game in about the last 10 years or so. They used to be a little bit poorer, the Czech ones, and so I think there was the business got bought out essentially, and loads of people weren't very happy with the quality, and so essentially they upped the quality so that it would be significantly better, and now they are really lovely quality beads that they make. I mean, if you have a look, you can see they're all pretty much perfect, exactly as you would want them to be. Oh, by the way, in case you've only just tuned in, at the end of the show, I'm going to be showing a load of pictures that you guys send in. So if you would like, show us what you've been making or what you've been getting up to, and then send it to the email live@beadspider.co.uk. And at the end of the show, I will try and get you into our little my little video stream here. So, as you can see, I've just added on my 10 seed beads. It's important that you use an even number, because you can make this little toggle piece bigger if you want to, but it's important that you use 10 beads or an even number. You'll make the peyote process a lot easier if you use an even number of beads. So as you can see, I've just added on my 10 beads and I've slid them down all the way onto my stopper bead. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start working in peyote up the this little row of 10 beads. So if we have a little look, what I'm going to be doing is taking one. I'm going to be, because my thread's coming out at this end here. So what I'm going to do is pick up one seed bead, and then, as with peyote, if you've never done peyote before, have a look on the Bead Spider YouTube channel, because Jermaine, you can also find it on the Bead Spider website. Jermaine's done a really fantastic quality video on what's called even count peyote, which is what I'm going to be using today. So anyway, first thing, I'll pick up one seed bead. I've got one there. I'm skipping this end bead, and then I'm going to go through this little bead just here, and I'll pull that nice and tight. So once you've got it nice and firm, you'll see they sit really nicely side by side, just like that there. So see, that's essentially what peyote stitch looks like. You want to have your beads side by side. So now we need to continue along. Whoops, I just lost my little piece just there. Here we go. So if we just continue along, let's have a look at the diagram again. So this is what I've just done. With my thread coming out of that last bead, I will pick up I'll pick up the one bead there, and skipping that end bead, pass through the second last bead. So that's essentially what I've done just there. So see that? There's my little piece with two side by side. Now, Evelyn, does anybody know what the difference is between Spiderlon and other threads? So Spiderlon, it's a really high quality nylon thread, which makes it very strong. It's a monofilament, so just one piece, where usually threads come in a ply of 3, which is essentially 3 little strands all twisted together. This is a single thread, one strand, and then it's bonded. So it's a bonded monofilament that we're working, and the bonding almost works like it's a pre-waxed thread. So you don't have to wax it. It's kind of a little bit rough, so it's really good for holding the Oh, Kelly asks, is the email in lowercase or uppercase? It's all in lowercase. Email address, lowercase, live@beadspider.co.uk. Sorry about that. But yes, Spiderlon. It's a bonded monofilament, which makes it really high quality, and it doesn't fray. So if you have to take your needle off and on and off and on and off and on, the end doesn't end up this annoying big frayed pile of rubbish. It just sort of continues to work really, really nicely. So let's just continue on now. What I'm going to do is peyote up the edge of my little strip just here. So each time what I'm going to do is just skip one bead and then pass through the next bead so that the bead I've just added sits side by side above next to the one that we skipped. So if we have a little look just here, what I'm doing, I've got one seed bead on, it's coming out from this one, so we skip the third bead up and go through. Let's zoom in a little closer even, hopefully it'll go in a bit closer. Even more, yes, there we go. So through the third bead, so skipping one and through the next, and then just through one bead only. So pull that nice and tight and get that really firm so that it's sitting side by side next to the other. So I'm going through this a little bit slow at the beginning, just because I want everyone to catch on, just in case they've never gone and done this before. Thelma, where do I go to subscribe? So if you want to, depends, if you're wanting to see this video later, just type subscribe and I'll send you a link to watch this video later if you need to. Otherwise, if you have a look in the description at the top, I've got a little link to our newsletter where you can subscribe to the Bead Spider newsletter, and that will let you know whenever we're doing new tutorials, because I've got one coming on Saturday. We do them every week, Saturdays and Wednesdays, which, because I'm in the UK just here in Cheltenham, they're at 1 p.m. Wednesdays and Saturdays. So if you head on over and have a look at the link, you can sign up to our little tutorial video. I've got the little text scrolling at the bottom there now, so that you can see what it says. But I'll leave that up for a second, and then I'll just fade that away in a moment. But yes, as you can see, while I've been talking to you, I've just been adding on the next few beads. So skipping one, adding one, skipping one, adding one, and so forth, all the way up my little piece just here, so that I'm coming out now of the very last bead that we added. So let's just move it a bit more into shot here, and hopefully let's put that into focus. Good. So you can see now I'm coming out pretty much at my stopper bead. The stopper bead, just make sure your thread doesn't get caught on itself, which mine has, and just go back through there. Here we are. And then just as you pull that tight, you'll have a little something looking a little bit like this. So you can see how they're sort of side by side like this. That's essentially what I was hoping to achieve as per this little diagram here. So that's sort of the next. So as we continue from here, what we're going to do is we're going to work adding beads going down this edge here, because what we essentially need to do is add on row by row like this, as you can see in the little diagram here, with all the different beads that I'm needing to create what will eventually look like a little piece like this. So row by row, you need to just go through one by one and adding them in. So I'll do the third row just here, which let's just, here we go. If I just show you, there we are. So I'm going to add my beads into this row. So you just pick up one bead and then see how one bead is sticking up. These are called up beads. So if you thread down through an up bead, just the one up bead, I almost went through two there, pull that, and then as you get nice and tight, there we go, and it sits nicely, becoming the next up bead on the edge there. So I'll take another bead I'll pass down through the next bead along, through there, and then I'll just pull that nice and tightly. Wait a second. Here we go. Pull, 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 until that one as well sits really nicely into the gap of the one above. Do it again. Skipping the down bead and through the next little sticky uppy one. And then pull that nice and tight. And then once more through the next one. Now, it doesn't matter if they're a little bit loose at the minute, because I'm going to tighten it once I get to the very end. That's when it's easiest. Once you've gone through all the beads in the row, that's when it's easiest to tighten, to make sure that it's sitting really firm and neat and nice. So, whoops, I just caught my thread there. Let's just go back through that. That's an important thing that you need to check as you're doing it. Make sure that your thread doesn't get caught inside the little loop that you create as you pull through. So you can see I've just popped that out, and there we go. Now it's back and ready. And if I just put my fingers on it and pull my thread nice and tight, you can see lovely and straight, and that is the same as my little diagram just there. So see that? So now you can see I've got another whole row of up beads sticking out, and I'm going to start filling those little gaps again. So let's just take one more thread, and we just essentially repeat this, going back and forth a few times until we end up with a little piece that looks like this. So essentially we have 6 rows, 6 beads in each row, which more or less is 12 back and forths. So I've already done 3, so now I'll just whip through them. But while we're doing that, why don't we have a little chat? Tell me what's everybody been getting up to. I'll let you know what I've been doing, but I want to know how have you been keeping entertained all week this week, everyone? I've had a very busy week myself, actually. There's because mother and father, Jermaine and Andrew, they are currently off in London with my sister. She's had her first child earlier this year, and I really it's really nice for them that they can go, and finally they've got grandchildren, so they're off having some lovely time since the restrictions sort of got lifted a little bit on whether or not we can leave the house and all of those sorts of things. So they're off with my sister at the minute, having a lovely time, enjoying some grandson time. And then I am back here. I'm filling all the orders. I'm sort of doing everything all on my little lonesome, because we've still got our staff at home, keeping safe and well and everything. So you'll know that if you place an order, it'll have been hand filled by me. I'll have done that for you. But otherwise, I mean, it was such lovely weather, and I had a bit of time yesterday afternoon, so I had a bit of a sunbathe in the backyard with the cats. Pebbles, which is we've got 2 cats, there's Sparky and Pebbles here. Pebbles, he's a bit of a wild one. He's a bit skittish sometimes, and he tends to like to jump on you and sort of goes a bit wild sometimes, but he's good fun. And so while I was trying to sunbathe, he kept trying to claw at my little foot while I was trying to rest. So I'm sure everybody else has little kitties that that are equally as naughty, but we've got one which is very naughty, and then the other one he's a bit older, and he's quite placid, and he just chills out. Sparky is his name. He's a very nice little kitty, which I think my girlfriend's a bit obsessed with him, to be honest. I'm pretty sure she likes him more than she likes me, but you never know. He's been her cat since she was only very young, so you can understand that. She's very attached. But yeah, you can see I'm just sort of getting through my little peyote stitch here. Kelly asks, what's the first bead product you made yourself? So the first one that I ever made, I did a strung necklace because Mum was doing jewelry for a long time, and she first started off using check glass beads and gemstones. So that sort of lends itself to making really nice strung jewelry. Oh no, actually, that's not the first thing. The very first thing was these little. We had this fantastic book, which was called like Crazy Beaded Critters or something like that. And a couple of my cousins and I, because in Australia, oops, sorry, just knocked the camera a bit there. We've got a very communal street in Sydney where we're from, where I grew up, and my cousins, they all lived in the same street as me too. So there was our house, there was one neighbor, and then there was my uncle's house beside that one, and then next door to that was his wife's parents' house. So not my grandparents, but my parents, my cousin's grandparents. And we'd all come down and do jewelry together with Jermaine, or crafting in general, because Jermaine did a lot of crafting. But yeah, so we would make these. She bought this book called Beaded Critters, and I made, I think, did I make a frog? I can't remember. And then, yeah, so they had like frogs and dragonflies and all sorts of these fun little critters that we could make in the book. And so that was the very first piece of jewelry I made, was a little brooch that, I mean, I never wear. I gave it to my Nana because I was only little, and I thought Nana would appreciate it. So that was my very first piece of jewelry. Maxine, so my girlfriend, she's upstairs and she's watching, and clearly she's listening. And she's just commented on, if you haven't seen it, it says, Sparky and Pebbles are the best. And yes, I do like them more than you. And then lots of laughing faces. And then another message which says, but I do like you a lot too. So, you know, ha, 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 very funny. So Sharon's on. She says hello from Georgetown in Texas. We've also got Toby, who's from Georgia. Let me just show you guys, just for the people who have only just turned up, what I'm making today. This video might be a little bit longer than usual, I guess, but here. So I'm making this crystal square toggle clasp. At the moment, I'm making the piece on the left, which is our little peyote tube, little toggle head. That's what I'm going to be making. And then if you want to be part of the show, don't forget, if you want to email in your photos. So I'll show you the photo that we got sent earlier in the week, which sort of inspired me to do this. Elaine from Nottingham sent us this lovely photo of one of the chenille bracelets that she's made from my tutorial that I did a few weeks ago, because I've been doing tutorials twice a week for a few weeks now, which, if you want to go back and watch them, you can see them either on the Bead Spider website, they're all on YouTube, or you can watch them on Facebook as well. But yeah, Elaine, she made a really beautiful bracelet. I like her color choices. The silver and the turquoise go really nicely together. And instead of using the bead clasp, like what I did, she's gone for a really lovely magnetic one, it seems there. But yes, don't forget, if you want to join in and you want your photos to be shown, what you've been doing lately, it doesn't have to be just jewelry, it can be other funny things too. Just email us a picture at live, all lowercase, live at beadspider.co.uk. That's the email to send to if you want to get one of your pictures. Hopefully I can show as many as I can, but you know, if I can, I'll show yours as well. But yes, so I'm almost, you can just see now, I'm almost at the point where the peyote's really coming together. So as I said to you, you need to make sure that you're doing this until you've got 6 beads in each row. So you can see at the bottom I've got 5 here, 4 in this one, 5, 4, and I'm continuing up so that there's 6 beads in every single row. That's the plan of what I'm doing right now. Let's see now. Here we go. Just keep on going. We've got Patty. Good morning from south of Dodge City in Kansas. I'm so pleased we get so many people from so many places. I really, really like how international these videos all have seeming to be. If you haven't done so already, if you're on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe and hit the little bell so you'll find out when I'm doing other live videos. If you're on Facebook, make sure you like our page. I'm going to start doing events so that it's really easy for people to know when different demonstrations will be on. They're every week, Wednesdays 1 p.m. and Saturdays 1 p.m. UK time. But yes, definitely make sure you pop on the little like or the subscribe button so that you can join in. So Evelyn asks, what size are the donuts again? So if we I'll just show you the little, right, the finished piece just here. So the one that you can use, so if you have a look at the little toggle at the end or the little piece at the end here, what you can use, you can either use a 3x4 crystal donut, 3mm by 4mm, so 3mm from hole to hole and 4mm wide, or you can also use a crystal bicone. The one in the photo is with a bicone, but if you want to see it with 3x4 donuts, it looks like this just here. This is the ruby colorway of our little kit just here that we're doing. This will be Saturday's video, the Venetian bracelet. Here's what the design looks like. This is going to be Saturday's video, but yeah, this is what it looks like when you use 3x4 crystals. So again, you still get that really lovely square shape, but instead of having the bicones, which look like, hopefully you'll be able to see it, look like this. This is what the bicones look like, which they kind of give you really nice corners, I guess. But I also like how the 3x4s are on the corners because they almost stick out as well. So 3x4s or 4mm bicones, whichever one you prefer. And then, of course, don't forget that the actual design that I'm going to make on the weekend is this one just here. So this is going to be Saturday's video. If you haven't seen that already, make sure you're watching on Saturday because that's what I'll be making. And I'll be attaching this clasp that we're making today to that piece right there. So I'll just press on and get this little bit finished. I hope everybody is enjoying the tutorial so far. Let's see. Oh, Kelly says that her first piece of jewelry she ever made, because everybody else, let me know. Kelly's had a really lovely idea of what was the first piece of jewelry you ever made. So I just told you mine. Kelly's told me that hers was a daisy bracelet. But yeah, definitely let us know what the first piece of jewelry you ever made was. And let's sort of keep this interactive, and I'll call out some of the things that people are making. So anyway, it's almost at the point now where I'm ready. I should have just kind of done here's one I made earlier, but because I'm just on my own at the moment, I haven't had as much time as usual to prepare, so I'm having to do each bit step by step rather than sort of like those cooking shows that you would see on TV. And here's one I made earlier instead of watching it for 30 minutes in the oven, But yes, so Jermaine says the very first piece of jewelry she ever made, which is Jermaine's my mum, was a pumpkin seed necklace. And if I recall correctly, it got eaten by a rat, which is, not the best way for your jewelry to go, but that's what happened to Jermaine's. Very first piece of jewelry was eaten by a rat, and she loves rats to this day. I tell you, they're one of her favorite animals. Rats? No, just kidding. She actually hates rodents. Here we go. Patricia asks, can we center it on the screen a bit more? There we go. I'll try and keep it nice and central there like that. But yes, what other things did other people make when they were... What was the very first piece of jewelry every other people made? There we go. There we are. And hopefully that's back in shot now, nice and central for everyone to see. This is, thankfully, the final row, so it's not going to take too much longer. And then we can start the next step. So I'm almost at the point where I can stitch the two ends together. So here we go. There we are. And then one more little bead just here. And there we go. So if we just have a look, the way that you'll know that you've done the right amount, if you just count across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that you've got 6 beads in every row. That's what we need to know. That's what we need so that we can turn it into our little toggle piece on the left here. Diane, do you have to condition the thread before use? No, I don't actually condition this particular thread. You can do, of course, if you want to, but it's a bonded monofilament. So the bonding essentially is already, it comes with like a wax layer on it almost. But yes, so the best way to know that you've actually got the right number of beads and that you're in the right position is if your stopper bead is at one end, you should be at the complete opposite corner. That way you can stitch the two pieces together. So if we have a little look, so this is where I'm up to now. I've just finished and I'm coming out the bottom opposite to where our stopper bead was. And now I'm going to turn the two, so I'll fold the two pieces together and I'm going to start weaving the two edges, like zipping them up. So if I fold it into a circle here, you can see the thread path. I'm going to weave the two edges together. Sharon, she's joined into the conversation. She says her first piece of jewelry was a tennis bracelet made with cord and sparklies in a tutorial that she did. Let's see. And Evelyn said, I made a necklace with a padlock key hanging down, but she didn't do the crimp properly and it fell apart in her hand. Oh, that's a shame. I mean, these things happen though. Everybody's first is, you know, it always falls apart. So seeing this little diagram, I'm going to stitch my two edges together. So with my thread coming out of here, I'm going to loop around and pass through this bottom bead on the opposite side. So you need to make sure that you've got in beads at the bottom there and up beads on the other side, so that you're joining a down bead to an up bead on the opposite sides. Leslie said that her friend gifted her an anklet and her first piece of jewelry was to copy it because she loved it so much. Very nice. That's the great thing about jewelry. Once you sort of start learning the basic techniques, you can apply them to whatever it is that you're making, and they sort of all come together really nicely, and you just sort of imitate what you've enjoyed, because you just need to know the basics essentially. So if we just come back to our diagram, so I'm going to now jump across to the opposite side of my little piece just here. I'll even zoom it in a little bit closer so that we can see even better. And I'm going to, like in the thread path, I'm going to zip the two sides together. So I'm coming out here and zip through that one. And then the up bead, so all the up beads, you just take your thread through all of the up beads one by one up your little piece, and it will sort of bring the pieces all together. So it's a really satisfying moment. I really like doing these sorts of things because it all just sort of comes together so nicely. I have a cold tea, so let's have a little bit. Do you know, it's always funny because these videos go for a couple of hours and I'm pretty much having to just talk constantly. I find that my voice is so dry come the end, so maybe I really should take note and remember to drink my tea as I'm going along. Otherwise, by the end, it's funny, my voice is all bright and sprightly at the beginning, and then towards the end I sound more like a bit more hoarse. Hi everyone, thanks for watching my tutorial, you know. But hopefully today it won't be as bad if I try and remember to drink my tea. Have people been emailing through, by the way, to our live email? If you want to be part of the show, don't forget, if you didn't hear it already, if you email us at live@beadspider.co.uk, that's the email address to send to. Send us a picture of what you've been making, what you've been doing, how you've been keeping yourself entertained. It doesn't have to be bead related, and I will show them at the end of the video. Some depending how many we've got, I'll show them in the video here. Oh, Alex, my sister, she's an actress. She says, because my voice I was just talking about, she says I have bad technique and I can do voice coaching with her to improve my technique so that I'm not so rough and scruffy after 2 hours. So what I need to do now, I need to just take my thread back across. So if we just have a look at the step diagram, so see how I'm coming out at one side, I need to join the two pieces together. So the two ends together. I'm almost out of screen there, sorry about that. If I need to join, so I'm coming out of this bead here, but I need to go through the bead that's just below the stopper to really join them together. So if we have a look at the next diagram, what I'm going to do, I mean, we'll just concentrate on the top part for the second. So I need to go down the bead beside, which is underneath the stopper, under one bead below that, and then I need to take my whole thread, not through any beads, just down through the middle of my little tube that I've created. So let's just pop on back. So I need to jump through this top bead underneath the stopper, make sure my thread, I'll just pull it before I complete that, pull the thread so that your little zip is really firm. You go through that little bead at the top, go through one more bead, it can be either bead, it doesn't matter which, just to really sort of tighten everything back up again. I might roll it and go through one over here, pull that nice and firmly, and now what I need to do is just thread my needle not into any beads, but between the beads, not into them, so that my needle is in the middle of the beaded tube. So I'll just try and lift it so you can see a little bit better. So see how my needle's now going through the tube. I'll just pull my thread all the way through, make sure I don't get my thread caught because I'm about to. Pull that, and then as my thread comes all the way through, there we go, it's now coming through the bottom of my little tube just here. So this is the point at which I will add my first 3x4 crystal and then one crystal at the end. So let's have a little look there. I've got one 3x4 crystal just here, so I'll thread that on, and one little seed bead. That's going to go, whoops, I got caught, gone out of shot. Just give me a second, I'll just bring it back in. Here we go. How's this? Yeah, that's pretty much in shot now. So what I'm going to do, see I've got one bead on the end there and then one seed bead. If we take a look, so I'm at this point just here, I'll even rotate it so it's a bit more accurate to how it should look. So there's my diagram. There is my piece of jewelry with the thread coming out at the very, very bottom. And then what I need to do is, skipping that very end bead, I will go back up my 3x4 question. Beth Anderson, can I ask you a question? Yes, you can. Go right ahead. I'm listening and ready to reply as you want. Here we go. Michelle as well. Let's getting back to the people's first jewelry that they made. Michelle said, my first bead project, they were brick stitch dream catchers and zigzag weave bracelets. That sounds so interesting. That sounds lovely. Maybe send us a picture. Send us a picture to live@beadspider.co.uk. And then Michelle, what color are those crystals? They're so pretty. So the colorway of kit that I'm doing, I did have the piece of paper that told me. Here we go. So currently I am doing the Sapphire colorway, but if you just want the 3x4 crystals, which I have the same color in 6mm bicones as well, so that's a 3x4 and that's a 6mm bicone. I have a feeling on the website they're like opaque sapphire or opaque, I'm not sure exactly the name, but I think it's color number 24 maybe. So the product code CD34, which means crystal donut 34, and then 024 because color number 24. So anyway, having a look. Oh, I didn't show you what the 6mm bicones look like. Oops, I had them on the wrong screen. So there we go. Those are the same color in 6mm bicones. We have those too. But yes, so if I just take my thread now, as per the diagram, I'm going to skip that seed bead on the end and go up just the 3x4 crystal and then all the way through the middle of the tube and do the same on the other side. So up through the tube, and so my needle is coming out through the hole at the top of the other side. So we'll just pull that nice and tight, and that adds that beautiful little embellishment onto the end of your tube. See that there? How's that? How nice is that? That like covers the little hole on the end of your piece just there. So it looks really lovely. So now essentially, having a look back at the diagram, I need to pick up one more 3x4 crystal and one more seed bead, which I'm about to do now. One 3x4 and one seed bead. And then all you do now is weave back down. Beth asks, she'd like to buy some of our kits and they're extremely reasonable. Do they come with the beads and instructions as well? All of our kits come with absolutely everything that you would need, so you don't need to worry about that. If you buy one of our kits, it includes all the beads, full instructions, needle and thread. So the only thing you might need is a bead mat or a work surface to work on, but otherwise everything else is included. Full instructions, all the beads, thread and needle too. So anyway, I'll just go back down as per our little diagram. Wait a minute. What I need to do is skip that little crystal on the end and pass down, the seed bead on the end, and just pass through the 3x4 crystal. So I'll head down and just somewhere towards the middle, just poke your needle through. It doesn't have to go through a bead, but it helps if you take it through a bead. Just pull that nice and tight, and then towards the center, that's where we need our little thread to be coming out. So mine's coming out just here. If we look at the diagram, that's pretty much in position to where it needs to be. So now all we need to do is weave down. Oh, I've accidentally missed a step photo. Let me just change that one so that we can see the right photo. Now, here we go. This is the first step photo. So now what I'm going to do is weave on down so that we can add on a little peyote strip at the sort of the right position. So my thread, it's in the right position right now. We add on one seed bead, weave back into our little peyote tube that we've made, add on another seed bead and go back through the one that we just added. Kim asks, do we send to Holland? Yes, we certainly do. We do worldwide shipping. If you're in the US or Canada, we have like a nice flat rate of £6.50. Into Europe, I think it's maybe £6 or so, something similar. And then in the UK, if you sign up and become a member on the Bead Spider website, as long as you're spending over £10, we do free postage to the UK. So head to the Bead Spider website, which is www.beadspider.co.uk. And if you are downloading a pattern, if you become a member, you'll be able to access the patterns so that you can download them anytime that you want. If you want to download them again in future. So anyway, as per that little diagram, I'm going to pick up one seed bead. I'm in the middle here, so if we count down 1, 2, 3, 4, I want to go through the 5th and the 6th beads, essentially. So this is where my little, I'm going to make a peyote strip, essentially, that is going to go through the 5th and 6th rows. So count down 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you're coming out on one of the 4th row beads. Doesn't matter which one. You thread on one seed bead, skip the 5th row, and go into a bead that's sticking out on the 6th row, just below the one that you were on the 4th row. So as I pull that nice and firm, make sure I keep it nice and tight. Keep my thread out the way. Pull, 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 pull. There we go. And pull it all tight, and then that will also lock in your crystal on the edge. So see how that was a bit loose? Now it's really firm and tight. So what I do now, as per my little diagram, I will add on one more seed bead right there and go back through the bead that we just added a second ago. So if I'll turn it over so that we can see it a bit better. See, there's the bead I just added, sort of sticking out from the others. Pick up one seed bead and then go through this little bead that we just added just now. So I'll just go through there, pull that tight, and there we go. And now you can see we've sort of got that little formation happening of two beads, so much like our little diagram there. So now what I will do is continue to add on beads in that similar sort of fashion. So you peyote back and forth. I'll just show you the diagram. It's this one just here. Wait a sec. There we go. Yes, hopefully that's showing now. So we're going to add on another pair of beads. So coming out of the first bead I added in the previous step, I will just show you on the picture here. I'm going to come out of this bead here and go into the top bead, the one that we added second. It might come a little loose, but that's okay. We can tighten that again in a second. So just pull that nice and firm. And then as we pull everything, they should all just sit nice and tight. So give them a squeeze so that they sit nice and tightly. There we go. That's added one more. And then what we can do, I'll add on one more bead. Oops. Just here. And pass, just get it nice and tight. And I'll pass through this top little section just here. This little bead we just added. I'll pinch it all together. Pull my thread nice and tight, and for today that's all we need to do for this little toggle piece, because now if I want to I can attach it. So if we have a little look, this is a great way to extend the length of your final bracelet, by the way. So if you have a look at this particular one that I've made, which is the red, I used a white thread. I probably shouldn't have, but anyway, you can make the strip as long or as short as you want, and then essentially you just attach that strip to the end of your bracelet. So that is long enough for today. But another thing that you can do, which looks really great, if only I had one of the demo pieces here to show you. I might do, no, I can't find one, but yes. What you can do as well is make this strip even longer, maybe 10, 15, 20 beads. And what you do, you loop it back onto itself so that, see how I've got like a little circle at the end here? You make a little loop and you take your loop through the the strip of beads here through that loop and then back up and fold it onto itself and attach it to the clasp. So essentially it's almost like you have a little loop around this, because then it's really soft and pleasant to work with. Like for example, if you had a piece of jewelry that ended like this, if you can see that, you can make your peyote strip long, and instead of attaching it to this, you take it so that it goes through there, through that little piece, and then back and attaches again to another part on your little bar there. So anyway, this is this piece finished, and we can just put that aside. All you need to do now is just weave your threads off so that they're finished and done with. Maybe keep this thread so that we can use it to attach to our clasp later, but the tail thread here, just weave it off, get rid of it, finished. You don't need it anymore. So if we just have a look again at what we're making, part 2 now, which I'll continue on with. I don't know how long we've been going for now, maybe an hour almost. But that's the first part. Now we're going to make the second part, which is our second little toggle square on the right there. So essentially, I'll just cut myself off a nice new piece of thread. You need a thread that's around about 1 meter long. It doesn't matter if it's shorter or longer. You know, if it's about a nice working length, 1 meter is good, just for covering the amount of thread that you would need. So I'll just cut myself a little meter of thread here, and I'm going to make that piece that's on the right. Just while I'm doing that, here we go. So Kim, is this size 8 or 11? I've been using size 10. Check size 10 seed beads, which are the same size as a Japanese size 11. So if you're wanting to know, I'll just put them along the bottom while I'm cutting my thread. The things that I'm using size 10 Preciosa seed beads, and then you need either a 3x4 millimeter crystal and or a 4 millimeter crystal. And if you fancy joining me on Saturday, where I'm going to make the bracelet that goes with this, which looks like this, you also need a 6mm bicone. Let's have a look, see if I've got a better photo. I'll just, while I'm showing you the colors here, I'll just show you the different colors of the Venetian just here. So let me just get my thread prepared. So these are different colorways of Venetian, which I'm going to be making on Saturday. So make sure you're tuning in on Saturday and watching along with me, because I'm going to make that bracelet, and then the clasp, which I'm making today, I'm going to attach to this this piece, to one of those just there. And currently it's on sale, but we do also, if you're in the US and you don't want to pay postage, just get the pattern. It's on sale at the minute. It's only £4 for the pattern for the Venetian bracelet. That also includes the pattern of what I'm making today. So I've got myself all sorted now. I've got my needle and thread back on. Essentially what I need to do now is make a little ring. So we did normal flat peyote, but now this one, it doesn't take too long. I'm going to do circular peyote, which is quite fun and makes that nice square shape. So the first thing I need to do, I've got my my meter of thread. I need to pick up 24 size 10 seed beads. So I'll just show you the diagram. Just here, no, not there, here we go. 24 little beads, and we're going to put them into a ring, just like that one there. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm just picking them up. 12 little beads. You don't need a stopper this time, by the way. 12 little beads. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. There we go. So I think I've earned myself a nice sip of tea. Let's just have a lovely sip of little tea just there, and let's get back to our little tutorial now. So so here you can see I've got my 24 beads on the string there. Tea's a bit cold now. Oh well. So what I'm going to do, just like in that picture, I'm going to go through all the beads one more time. You don't have to go through all of them. You could just go through one if you want to, but I find that if you go through all the beads again, it makes it that little bit firmer when you're trying to do the bead work. So I'm just going to do that right now. Just go through all the beads, and then pull that into a nice little ring. What we can do as well, if you do go through all the beads, which I'm just doing now, wait, here we go, I'll just show you. If you do go through all the beads, your two threads end up pretty much back in the same spot, which is great to let you sort of tie this so that it's not going to come undone, because that's a nice easy thing that you can do. You can tie a knot in your work with these two threads, so you can tie the tail and the working thread together. Make sure you've got yourself a nice bit of tail there. It doesn't need to be too long, maybe about 20 or 30 centimeters, whatever's easy to work with for you. Bring the two threads together, and then just right over left, left over right, whatever's easier for you, just tie them together. So just through there, one over the other, and then pull them so that it makes a nice ring. And as you pull that tightly, it should, there we go, give you a really nice little beaded ring just there. So we can do that. I'll do that once more just to make sure that the knot is a bit tighter, because I only did it once. So let's go over and under, and I'll do a surgeon's knot this time. So essentially I'll go through twice, over and under. And then as you pull that nice and tight, make sure it goes in the same spot. Doesn't go in the wrong spot. There we go. Pull it tight, and now you've got one very lovely, firm, beaded ring ready to continue working. So if we have a look at our next step, what we're going to do is weave around in circular peyote. So this is the first step here. I'll pick up 2 seed beads and then 1 crystal, 3x4. So first thing that you do, if we have a little look, I've got my thread coming out of my bead just here. 1 second, let's have a look. So here, ooh, I'm a bit out of shot, sorry about that. So my thread's coming out just here. I'll maybe go through 2 beads just to move away from that tail thread a little bit and get away from the knot. Nah, I'll leave it actually. So what I'll do, I'll pick up 1 seed bead, and then skipping this little bead, I'll go into the next bead around the circle. So my thread is coming out of this little seed bead. Wait, let's use the needle here. The thread is coming out of this little seed bead here. I'll skip this seed bead and go into this seed bead. So then just pull my needle nice and firm. Do that once, and that's the first little step of our circular peyote there. So now I'll do another one. My cousin James, who I was talking to you about just earlier, has just sent me a message on my watch. Just here, it comes through. Oh, it won't focus. But anyway, he says I sound like a horse. So thanks, James. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. There we go. No, I don't. Anyway, terrible joke. Don't laugh. So yes, now pick up 1 more seed bead, and then skipping a bead, we'll head through the next one there. And there we go. So now I've added on 2 little beads. It doesn't matter if it's a bit messy at the beginning. It'll tighten up and look better as we get further around. So now I need to, just like in our diagram, I need to add on 1 3x4 crystal just here. So we do the exact same process of just skipping 1 bead and then going through the next seed bead along. So if we have a little look, I've got my thread on, I'm coming out, I've got the bead onto the thread, coming out of this bead, I'll skip this one and I'll head into this one just here. So because I made my ring nice and tight, you can see it's already quite firm, which is good. So you don't need to worry too much about tension of that inner ring when you do it that way. So if I pull that tight, doesn't matter if it's a bit loose now, we can just get it nice and neat like so. And there you can see I've now got the same, I'll flip it over so that you can see it kind of the same way as the diagram there. There we go. So I've essentially got exactly the same as that there. See that? So that's looking pretty good, isn't it? So now, while I'm here, what I need to do now is essentially continue around the circle. So going seed bead, and then 3x4 crystal, seed bead, 3x4 crystal. There you go. James has just commented here on the video. Thanks for the shout out, Matt. You're welcome, James. Anyway, back to the video. Let's continue now. I'm going to just, as you can see here, it's 2 seed beads and then a crystal. 2 seed beads and then a crystal. So let's just do the next one. So let's just go through, skip a bead here because I'm coming out. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thread. I was looking at the tail thread. How silly. Here we go. So with my thread nice and firm, coming out of this bead, skip this bead and go into the next one around the circle just there. Now don't forget, because I'm not too far from the end now, if you want your photo to be shown a lot like I did with Elaine's here, just email us what you've been making, what you've been doing, all of those sorts of things, and I will show them up in a minute. And the other thing as well is, if you haven't done it already, join up to the Bead Spider newsletter, which the link is up in the description at the top of the little video just there. So let's just pass through that little bead now. Oops, got a bit caught on that demo piece I had before. One little bead there. Add on one more. So we can do this relatively quickly now. We're not too far from the end. Go through here. Oops, knocked the camera, sorry about that. Through that next bead, pick up one 3x4, because don't forget we want it to look like this just here. So that's the plan, 2 seed beads, then a crystal, 2 seed beads and a crystal. So let's add on our next crystal now, skip this next seed bead, add on your crystal, and go through this one just here. Get that nice and firm, because these are our corners essentially. Add on one more seed bead. Skip that bead. And through the next, pull that nice and firm. Oh, I'm talking like Mr. Ed the horse. That's very nice. Thanks, Kelly. I appreciate that. You know, comparing me to a horse from the 60s. Maybe they should put peanut butter on my gums just to make me look like I'm talking. So I'm adding on another seed bead now, skipping a bead and passing through the next seed bead. Pull that nice and tight. Here we go. Get that firm. Add on my third of 4 crystals. Oops, I've lost my piece here. Let's just go through the next one. So here we are. Pull that nice and firm, skip a bead and pass through the next. Try and pass through the next. There we are. What time is it there, by the way, Kelly? Or what time is it where everyone is? Because right here, right now, it's 2:20 in the afternoon here in not so sunny England. It's been horrible weather today. What's the time where you are? Because I know Kelly's watching from Australia, so it must be getting pretty late there. But what about you in the US? What time is it where you're all watching from? Oh, also don't forget, if you are watching now, but you want to just sort of jump through and see it once I'm finished, just type in the word subscribe to the comments section, and I'll send you a link once this video is finished so that you can watch it at your own leisure once it's completed and finished. So if you haven't done so yet and you want to see the video afterwards because you don't have time to watch it all now, just pop the word subscribe into the comments section, and I'll send you a link so that you can watch the end of this video at your own leisure, the on-demand version, I suppose. Here we go, last seed bead, so skip one, and then I've got to just add on one more crystal, and we're pretty much in position to continue. So I'll just add on one more crystal. Yvette says it's 7:20 a.m. Wow, thank you for getting up so early to join me. I appreciate it. It's very nice of you, because I guess I would have started at 6 a.m. So where are you at the minute, Yvette? Where are you watching from? So I'll just skip that last bead, pick it up, and then thread through that seed bead. And then the last step that we need to do is just make sure it's all nice and firm, but we need to step up, which essentially is just moving into the next row of our peyote circle. So see this little bead just here? I'll just pass my thread through there, and we are now in position. Let's just pop that over for you to see. I'm now in position, get my tail thread out the way, to continue working as per my little diagram just here. Daphne, 9:20 a.m. in Canada. So thanks for tuning in, by the way, Daphne. I appreciate that. Kelly, 11:20 p.m. 9:20 in New Hampshire as well. So yeah, it's I guess lots of people at lots of different times are all watching, but it's a lovely 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. So I've got it nice and easy. I didn't have to be up too early. So anyway, you can see I'm up to where my thread is coming out of at the end, just here. Ignore the little tail thread. I'll just take it back to my main shot just here. So ignore this tail thread here. We're not working with this. This is where we're coming out of just here. So that's essentially where we're at. So if we have a look at the next diagram, this is the last one too. What we're going to do is just fill the gaps with seed beads, and that's going to give us that really nice square sort of shape. So if I just, because we've got these bigger beads in the corners, it really sort of just makes it that little bit firmer. So I can just fiddle with the beads so that they're sitting nice and neatly, pick up one seed bead. I might flip this over, it's a bit easier to work that way. I'll go through, pick up one seed bead, and through this seed bead here. There we go. Pick up one more seed bead and through my first crystal. The good thing is, because the crystals are a little bit bigger, when you pull this thread sort of sharp, you can see it changes the shape of your little toggle piece. I know you can see my thread just here, but once we sort of close in this seed bead, it'll be hidden a bit better. So we can just do that here. And ouch, I stabbed myself with the needle. Happens all the time though, I'm used to it. Add on a bead, pull that nice and firm, and then you can see how it hides that thread. See how it's not showing so much anymore? But we're starting to make that nice square shape come together. So let's just continue a few more through this one. Here we go. And then through the next. And through that crystal. Keep your tail thread out the way. Pull that nice and firm. Oh, Kim, I can't find the email. I'll just put it on the screen so that you can send us an email, because it won't be long now. It's just here at the bottom. So all lowercase. Oh, did I have the diagram showing? Sorry about that. So my Whoops, I didn't realize I had the diagram on. Thanks for letting me know. Sorry about that. Oops. But yes, so there, we can see the email at the bottom and we can see the shot. I'm glad I looked up and saw that you'd been speaking, because that would have been very silly of me to not take it off the diagram. But anyway, you can sort of see it's all coming together quite nicely now with that square shape happening. So I'll just go through the little seed bead. Sorry about that. Oh well, you'll get to see it now, thankfully. Through there and into the seed bead, and then pull that nice and tight. And that, again, like I said, hides that little thread if there's any showing. Go through the next one. But yeah, so make sure you're getting those pictures in. If you don't get them in today, it's not the end of the world. I might show them. So if you're watching this later in the future, if you know you're a time traveler and you're looking back on this video, you can still send pictures to that live at beadspider.co.uk. If you head on up and send us emails even after the show finishes, I might do some next week maybe at the beginning of the show, and then ones during at the end. Thelma, I couldn't find the subscribe button in the right corner. Whereabouts are you watching? You're watching on Facebook. So the subscribe button is on our YouTube channel. On Facebook, you just need to like the Bead Spider Facebook page. Or, like I said, to subscribe to our newsletter, which if you have a look at the description of this video, it'll say you can get the pattern or a kit from here. Here's the link to that. Or subscribe to our newsletter. Here's the link for that. And then you'll get emails when we do new tutorial videos. So that's the best way to sort of get involved, to get in the loop, is to join our newsletter, which I'll just pop on the screen so that you can see that too. Okay, so now I'll just continue through. I don't have too many more beads to go, and then we can go back, and hopefully I'm in sync now, but I'm starting to think it might be unlikely. There we go, through there. One more bead. Here we are, through this one here. The last little crystal there. And then see how it sort of starts to take that really nice shape, that sort of square shape. It all comes together really nicely at the end. It's really satisfying. If you keep this row sort of looser as well, the shape holds it better, rather than if it's a bit too tight, they sort of bow in a little, but you know, it works okay. So now last little bead. Oh, knocked the camera, sorry about that. Last little bead here, just get this thread out the way, and then through this one and through a few. So if we have a little look at the diagram, just real quick, I'll show you where we need to be ending up. So just have a quick look at the diagram again. So if we have a look at the diagram, I need to thread through to one seed bead before a crystal, because essentially that's where I'm going to continue on from when I complete this on Saturday. So as I said, if you're going to be watching with me on Saturday, making the Venetian bracelet, this is where you need to be up to. You can otherwise, if you're going to just do it as continue as a clasp, similar to what I did with this one, you can make like a little peyote strip in the center. You can also, from this middle bead, do a little right angle weave, but I'll show you what I'm going to do with it on Saturday. But essentially that completes our little square toggle piece. So now you can see there's my little toggle head, and there's my little square loop. So let's take a look at the lovely picture I did. So that's essentially what I've made today. And now, so that's pretty much the end of today's tutorial. But as promised, I'm going to just have a little look and see what photos people have added in to our email thing. Let's have a look. Thelma, will you repeat on Saturday, if we look at the diagram, on a 1 seed bead. Diagram. Oh, have I still got the diagram on again? Have I done that again? Wait a second. Wait. No, I hope not. Wait. Anyway, let's just have a look. So let's just show you my finished piece just here. There we go. Here's my little finished square and little toggle head. Did I forget to change that? Oh gosh, I'm losing it today. My brain's disappearing. Oops, wrong way. So anyway, yes, let's have a little look at see who's emailed in. Let's add in some pictures. Just give me a moment. You can admire my handiwork while I look at that. Let's see how many pictures we've got. Great, we've got a few. So we've got. Ooh. Let's have a look. Okay. So let's have a look at the pictures that we've had sent in. So don't forget, if you want to have your photos sent in, you can do that via our live Bead Spider email address. So let's just decrease the size of this 1 second, just a few more seconds, and then I'll pop this on the screen. Ooh. There we go. So let's see, what's everybody been getting up to? So Jermaine's courgette, lemon and poppy seed cake. Wait, let's just hide the logo there. Which one is that? There we go. Let's pop that on here. There we go. No, wrong one. Ugh, what am I doing with my life? There we go. So Jermaine's courgette, lemon and poppy seed cake. She sent that one in. Let's see what we've got as well. We've got Kelly in Australia. She's made this lovely little. This looks like the kit that we did the other day, the herringbone stitch necklace. Thank you for sending that one in, Kelly. What else have we had? Oh, Kelly as well. There's another design that she's done. I haven't finished yet, but I've used superhero minis and size 15. So that must look really lovely. That looks really nice. Jermaine says, by the way, if you want to know the recipe of her courgette, lemon and poppy seed cake, she's just put a little comment on. Just say, I want the recipe or something like that. And Jermaine will send along the recipe for her courgette, lemon and poppy seed cake. Eggplant for those who didn't know. Leo is watching intently, still to make his first piece. That's very cute. This little fella here, he's watching along. That's nice. And then, that's it. That's all we've got so far. Have we got any others just coming through at the minute? Let's see. Oh, and then we've got one more. 1 second. I'll just add in one more, which is Maxine has sent me one of her cat. Let's just pop that in as well. Here we go. One last photo. And then here we have Sparky, the little kitty cat just here. That's our kitty cat just there. Maxine sent that one in. But anyway, yes, so I hope you've all enjoyed today's tutorial. I hope I'm about to be in sync right now. Let's just pop it back up to me at the top here. Let's just get me back in focus, and then I'll hopefully, here we go. Oh, I'm zoomed in, that's why. It was very, very zoomed in. And I was like, what's going on here? Let's see how I'm looking today. There we go. And there we are. Oops. So yes, if you want to get your photos shown up on our next show, you can still use that email address live@beadspider.co.uk, and we'll try and show your photo. So anytime between now and Saturday, you can use that little link, which if I can just find the thing just there, here we go. So the little email at the bottom just here that's about to come up, all lowercase. If you send us a photo to that, I'll get you involved in next week's show. But thank you all very, very much for watching. Just to show you what's coming on Saturday, I've got our Venetian bracelet kit, which is this one just here. There's 5 different colorway options to choose from, which, oh, that's today's video. So if we have a little look, there's that amethyst color there. They're all on the themes of gemstones. That one's diamond, which I showed you as well. The emerald there, the ruby, and the last one we have is the sapphire. And if you fancy, if you want to get all 5, you can join in and you will get 20% off if you get all 5 of those images just there. But yeah, I'll show you them in the real life, because I think the photos almost don't do them justice. Let's get that in nice and close so that you can see. But it's a lovely design that we've come up with here, which essentially it uses your 6mm crystals in the center here. You've got your 4mm or 3mm, and then it's all done with a netting of seed beads. So this is what I'm going to be doing on Saturday. Hopefully I'm not out of sync, by the way, but you never can tell. And then so here is the little ruby colorway as well. We've got so don't forget, if you want to pop on also, just as I showed you, this is going to be coming in the future, that herringbone twist bracelet that I've been playing with. That's what I'm going to be making very, very soon. We're going to be doing another clasp video next Wednesday, so definitely pop on, sign up for our newsletter. Let's just pop that one on the screen. So yeah, if you have a look at the link, which is up the top of the little video wherever you're watching. So if you're watching on Facebook, it's just in the description there. Same with YouTube. The little sign up to our email list is right there. So that's a great way to get involved with finding out when videos are going to be. But I'm also going to have events on Facebook. I'll try and do an event on Facebook, and I'll have the YouTube video prepared so that it's scheduled well in advance, so that you will know. I will make sure that the sync is better, so that when I'm speaking it actually looks like I'm speaking, not a minute or so later. But you know, hopefully we can go a bit less technical glitchy. If you haven't seen any other of our videos that we have done, I've done quite a few live videos. For example, last week's clasp was this lovely little thing. Actually, wait there, I'll show you the finished demo piece from yet last week's video, because I didn't do a whole one last week. But just wait here a second and I'll show you the necklace that I made, if I can find it quickly. Where is it hiding? Here it is. This is that finished colorway from last week's tutorial. So on Wednesday I did the clasp, which is our little clover clasp, which is this fella just here, if it'll get in focus. There we go. So I made this clasp on the Wednesday tutorial, and then this is the finished necklace now in that same colorway of our raindrop necklaces. Oh, it's a bit twisted all of a sudden, but I mean, it's not quite my style, but let's just get me back in focus. You know, maybe it makes my eyes pop, but essentially this is the finished raindrop necklace that I made just in the last tutorial. So if you haven't seen that one, go back and watch that tutorial. Just get it in focus for you. Yeah, go back and watch that tutorial, because that was last Saturday's, and the clasp was what I did on Wednesday. So those are the last week videos. Again, yes, thank you so much for watching. Evelyn, she said it was a brilliant tutorial, as always. Thank you. We try and do them really nicely, but I guess with my afternoon, now that it's 20 to 3 here, I better go and see who's sent in orders, because I better fill those so that people will get them. But yeah, make sure that you're going to be subscribed to the YouTube channel, or on Facebook, like our Facebook page. Again, as I've said a few times, be a part of the video. So send us one of your photos. Kim actually said that she's sent some photos in. Let's see if there's any more come through. No, I don't think we've managed to process that one in time, because Andrew, my father, is on the other end. He's receiving all the emails, and he is he's putting people's names onto the top corner. So I guess he was a little bit slow this time. So oh well. So just make sure that you are watching, so that Kim, next week, your video will hopefully be right there at the beginning. Yvette, she wants the recipe. Don't forget, if you saw Jermaine's recipe, the little cake just here, which let's just see if I can find that picture again. Here we go. No, wrong one. One more. There we go. So Jermaine's courgette, lemon, and poppy seed cake. If you want the recipe for that one, just say, give me the recipe in the comments or something, and we'll give you Jermaine's recipe for that too. But yeah, so thank you all for watching. Evelyn says she's just made an order. Do hers first. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. But yes, Michelle, thank you as well. Thank you so much for watching. Who's still here? Put in a little comment saying goodbye, so that I can say goodbye to you. But yeah, I think the next thing I'm going to do is potentially warm up my little tea just here, because it is stone cold, like Steve Austin. I'm going to warm myself up a little, because it's a bit cold. The weather is not very pleasant here. Oh, apparently we didn't receive your picture, Kim. So just resend those pictures, Kim, of what you've been making, and if you can't get it working, to live@beadspider.co.uk, try to info@beadspider.co.uk. But yeah, because yeah, we definitely want you to be involved and be part of it and everything. So let's just pop back. Sharon, she says goodbye. Thank you for watching, Sharon. Kelly, good night as well. Who else have we got? Alice, she wants the recipe, obviously. But yeah, so I guess I will see you all on Saturday. The video... Oh, Michelle, I couldn't figure out how to post a picture here. Michelle, you don't need to post a picture there on YouTube or on Facebook. Send it to us in an email, live@beadspider.co.uk, and I will do and I'll try and get your pictures in next week as well. Alice, do you teach cubic right angle weave? I haven't got a tutorial for that one planned as yet, but I will definitely consider that one for the next upcoming weeks, because yeah, that herringbone stitch one I think is a nice one. We've got lots of fun tutorials decided. We did try and get Maxine to make me another hot cup of tea, says Sharon. I know, she didn't. Kitty from Tucson, she just got on. Unfortunately, we're just about to finish, but the good news is, as I've said, if you want to get the video, if you want to watch the full video when we've got it up and live so that you can watch it on demand, just type into the comments subscribe, and we'll reply to you with a link for the full video that you'll be able to watch at your leisure anytime that you fancy in the future. But yes, who else? We've got, who else is still watching and saying goodbye? Doesn't matter. Anyway, I have got lots and lots to do now. So I will see you all on Saturday for the Venetian bracelet tutorial, where my little clasp piece that I've been making today, which I'll just show you just in case you missed it, is this little piece just here. Let's just get that in focus. So this is the little head of my toggle, and this is the sort of the square crystal loopy bit that I've made as well. So these are what I made today. But yeah, just type in subscribe, and even if it's in the future, we'll send you a link so that you can access this live video from there. But yeah, thank you very, very much for joining in and for watching. Gwen says, have a great day. I will. I hope you're all having a lovely day as well. Evelyn says goodbye as well. Thank you so much for joining in, and I will see you all on Saturday. So enjoy your next few days. Email us to live@beadspider.co.uk to get involved and be joined in and everything. And then make sure you, if you don't want the kit, at least check out the pattern at the top in the description here to see if you fancy the pattern. It's only £4, it's on sale, so it is really good value, and it will teach you this clasp, and you'll also get this Saturday's tutorial included in the one thing, which is the Venetian bracelet. It has both, and then the kits, just in case you don't know, they include all the beads. You get thread, you get a needle, and full instructions included as well. So you don't need to buy both unless you just want a digital copy to keep. But yeah, thank you all very, very much for watching. I am going to have a bit of a rest before I start doing all of your orders for all of you who have placed orders. And I'm going to warm up my tea, have a fresh one, I think. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on Saturday. So thanks very much. See you later. Bye bye.